see. We're starting over fresh. Los. Virus. Virosek. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Ah, these full motion videos. Gotta love the old school. Dun 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 dun. Bum 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 bum. Dun-dun-dun-dun. Ah, those old school textures. But even with how old they are, they look good in this mode. My forehead hurts. Well, duh. Look, your eyes are focusing. You're coming down off that contact high. Okay, we're gonna be okay. You're gonna be okay. Well, obviously we can't name him anything other than Squall. I mean, we could. But it doesn't make much sense to. Developers gave him a name for a reason. Might as well let him use it. I need to, for my sake, see if I can adjust this. Ugh. Really? Dear Square. There's got to be a better way to do this. He won't listen to anyone. Well, that's because he's an idiot. Can't just run away. What? Sure, why not? Okay. No, please. No, thank you. Just come get him. Do it now. It'll probably leave a scar. Oh, my beautiful Japanese face. How will I ever get chicks now? Dear Twitch, why is your viewerless system such hot garbage? Love, Brigham. Currently unavailable. I'm shocked. Shocked, I tell you. How am I supposed to know who these viewers are? It is interesting how they put in some work and updated the character models for this port, but like didn't even bother to do anything to the textures. Beginning to understand my student. Aww. They understand each other. Still awkward that you're like the same age and teaching him. It's a little weird. Is the game audio versus my talking relatively balanced, Shrimp? Wow, that's really loud in my ears for sure. Okay. Just let me know. I have to play with it. It's different for every game, for sure. Been some rumors flying around since yesterday. Rumors of what? Rumors that I hooked up with Quistis? Well, maybe. I have to go fight Ifrit and get him as my GF so we can be best friends forever. Free time until the exam. Do not injure your partner training. Man, what's the point then? Holy crap. Beat the 8th before the 8th? That's a high order. What do we think? Is that even feasible? Let's see here. If we factor the game as 35 hours minimum, we've got 14 days? No. Math is hard. We've got 12 days. I'd have to average 3 to 4 hours, which that's doable for my stream. Just means that I won't be playing Final Fantasy XIV between now and then. Wait, I was supposed to look at the console or something, right? I always forget. Bum, bum. What a pain. What a pain. Whoops. It's totally what I meant to do there. Thanks for looking at this page. There's nothing here now. Go away. Hey, we got another viewer. Anybody interested in watching and playing the game? That's awesome. If my streamer or viewer list was working, I'd see your name and know who you were and welcome you to the stream, but I can't see it, so tell you to talk to me. Let's see here. Okay. Alrighty. Yeah, I'm considering doing some mods on the game. I just, like, it was more, I switched to this on a whim. I'd been planning to play some Final Fantasy XIV. I guess I don't understand the difference between the two of them. Like, it's been ages since I played the original PlayStation version. Is it really that different in the audio? Or that different in the audio? Most of this. Confirm. Okay. I'll have to take a look at it. I haven't. Yeah, like, as far as playing this on the PC goes, I've only ever done it a couple times, but I'm considering doing some of the mods, if only just to make it so the buttons. So I have the buttons mod so I can see that and it doesn't mess with my head when it tells me to do button 3 and I can't remember what that is. But thanks for the tips. Thanks for coming into the stream. Sinuosity? Yeah, I assume that's how you say that. Okay, we know all of that. Not caring. Let's take a look at this and see if I can. I think I accidentally backed out of there. I wanted to look at the basics section just to make sure I'm remembering everything here. Yeah, I'm okay with that. Okay. I'm done. Get me out of here. I have an Ifrit to go and make friends with. What up, Quistis? Cypher, what a jerk. Why are you gonna do that? You scarred my pretty anime face. Okay. If you're not confident yet, you can view your studies in the study panel. Okay. Access the study panel from your seat. Token black dude. Alrighty, let's see. Down this hallway. Up. Look out. Look out. Let's see. Are we nice squall or are we douchebag squall who never says anything? Over? Is it over? Oh man. Roses and Wine mod. To see if I can figure that out later. Three minutes till birthday time. Let's do this. Okay. So we got a couple more people popping into the stream. Welcome. Thanks for coming to watch. Well, this is it. Yes. Yes, it is Squall. How very observant of you. Elm Garden is pretty big, so I want to go and select it here. I have a question. How do you use this? Oh. Next, various facilities. Yes, sir. Majority of the students live in the dorms. Well, obviously. Let's see if here. Welcome to the stream to the new people that have showed up. I'm actually considering, like, Final Fantasy VIII wasn't my original plan for tonight. We were playing Final Fantasy XIV on the MMO. Servers went down for maintenance, emergency maintenance, because, you know, it's patch week. So we're playing some Final Fantasy VIII. My buddy Shrimpiclese, who's in the chat, has suggested that I try and beat Final Fantasy VIII before March 8th. March 8th, we're planning to play a whole bunch of the new Division game when it comes out together as friends. But until then, we kind of need something to fill the time on my stream. So, considering going to try and beat it, I think that's about 12 days. If you figure 36 hours minimum, 3 hours per day to get it done. And knowing my problems with insomnia, that's entirely possible to do. So we're going to give it a try, see how far we get. I'd like to actually try and make it happen, so. Getting stuck in tutorials like this, though, is going to take us, make it so it's a little bit harder to get done. Alright, we're going to skip through the rest of this. Hope nobody's offended that I'm skipping the tutorial about, you know, the garden dormitory map. Whatever. I'll help out. Let's continue. South of the west block is the infirmary. Ah, it is my birthday. It's my birthday! Thank you, Shrimp. Oh my gosh. Let's talk forever about what these very obviously labeled things mean. Southeast of the library. There's a lot of material you can look up there. You know what's in the library? Books. Books are in the library. Shocking news, folks. I know you weren't expecting such shocking revelations on December. Whoa. We're traveling back in time. February 25th. But, you know, things that you need to know. What's the headmaster's name? Headmaster Sid. Because Sid is literally in every Final Fantasy game. If you don't know that already, it means you haven't played very many Final Fantasy games. Alrighty. Yes, I am. You're delaying me from doing so. See you again later. I've already finished my training at the previous garden. Aww. There's more than one garden? Alrighty, we got that sorted out. Let's save, so we don't have to do, you know, tutorial BS again. And whoa. This is my old save. We are not going to overwrite that. That would be bad. Bad with a capital B. Let's see here. Let's just make sure our controller is the way we want it to be. Confirm cancel. I'm hoping I've got the trigger set right. The trigger is one of the important ones. Button. Guess the right one. This is why I need to get that buttons mod done so that I can see these things a little bit better. Let's see. Set a junction up. Oh wait, no. Didn't want to do that. Let's see. Just want to give him Shiva because we're gonna give Quetzalcoatl to what's her face? Let's see here. We're gonna want draw. There we go. Hey, some magic. Let's go draw that out real fast. So the real question is, Shrimp, if we're trying to clear the game before the 8th, do I cheat and use the PC magic boost thing so that I can get all the free magic? Make things stupid easy? Or do we try and do it the hard way? But I already know how to do this, Quistis. Yes, yes. GF must be junctioned. Oh, could you imagine trying to play this game without any GFs equipped ever? That would be rough. I'm sure there are people that have done it because they're crazy. So GF is junction, magic is displayed in gray. Let's junction a GF. Wait, how do you have Ifrit already? Oh yeah, you already passed the test. Teacher. Right. Got it. Negative Ghost Rider. Do it for real. Okay, Shrimp. We'll do it the hard way. Holly will be happy. She was real mad at me when we were doing the the other save file that I have right now, because I had just messed around with the menu command. I was like, what's this? And didn't realize what I was going to do. And so the next time I logged in, I had all the magic. And she was so mad at me at how stupid easy I had made the game. So, yeah. That's what we call, we're playing the game in story mode. We don't need a challenge. We're just playing it for the story. I really should go get a drink. My mouth is dry. Top window is for command abilities used during battle. Long tutorials are long. There's currently no magic. Let's set the command ability. Cursor moves to the right. Got it. So draw. Really have to watch all this. Alright, let's do this. Leroy. East of here. Excellent. Instant load times. Never had that in the PlayStation version. Dun, 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 dun. Now's the moment of truth. Did I set the trigger button to the right trigger? B6 is the trigger. That's right. Now, which button is B6 on my controller? Well, if it's that one, I did it wrong. Oh, I forgot to junction her. There we go. Alright, so it is the right button. I just totally whiffed it on the first try. Whip it good. Alright, let's do this before I forget. Quistis. Let's see, we need... Nope. Save before going into the cave. Oh my gosh. That's right. I've always wanted to spend the first 2 hours of this new stream going through tutorials. You're able to junction magic by selecting magic. Imagine that. Magic is selected. A list of magic appears. These are very, very stunning things that we're learning here. I just don't know that I can take it all in. String is selected. Choose a magic with the cursor. Search magic. Only magic can be assigned to each stat. However, There's no need to junction magic manually, one by one. Select auto after junctioning. Commands, favor strength, magic, and defense. Oh, imagine that one. For example, let's select the attack junction. Oh. Thank you. Sure, we're already in tutorial mode. Let's make sure we know how to do all the things. Done. GF related information. Oh, hey, look at that. Auto. Auto's for weenies. And for people like me that are bad at pushing the button. Perfect may not be possible with this option. But you actually have to play the game if you want to do the best damage? Oh, I suppose. I should tilt this down a little bit. Sorry about that. There we go. 'Cause I'm slouching because I'm not in the mood to sit up straight. I've noticed that. Thank you. Alrighty. Having little to no magic. Yeah, sure. We'll see how this goes. Trying to remember. Fairly positive I can do it in 20 minutes. I don't think I can. Can't do 10. I'm not that good at this game, but I'm pretty sure I can pull 20 off. Here we go! Bum bum ba bum 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 ba bum 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 bum. Than I was thinking they were. please. Thank you. Dun, 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 dun. Bombs! What's this nonsense? Sure. Use the elemental magic I don't have. Missed it. I guess I could bring out Shiva. Don't attack Squall. Thank you. Tweet again? Did I switch games? Might have auto done it for me. Yeah, it did. Sweet. They have Shiva? Oh my gosh. Yeah, we got Shiva. She's kicking your butt. Come on. Basically, you can get the test done in 10 minutes if you don't really do any kind of grinding on drawing off of the monsters in here, but if I remember right, it doesn't make that much of a difference how quick you do it. Moving on, we're moving on. Eventually, maybe. Got it. Amount of damage from that is done. The value goes over 100%, indicating that it is absorbed. In this example, 50% of the fire damage is absorbed. Gotcha. I guess I forgot that it's just defeat Ifrit within the 10-minute period. That's easily doable. Spells for people to learn. Let's have you do Vitality Junction. We'll have you do Strength Junction. And we'll have you do Boost. Oh no, a bomb! Should have set this to memory so that I didn't have to redo this when I'm doing the tons and tons of drawing. Thank you for the happy birthday wishes. I do not know how to say that name, if it's lead speak or anything, but thanks for the birthday wishes. And thanks for joining the chat. Dun, 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 dun. Before I forget, we're gonna go in change that setting. you. Also because I'm slow. Put that on one. Oh. Well, thanks for the birthday wishes there, Kent. Thanks for coming into the stream and checking it out. If you like what you see, you're welcome to go ahead and follow the channel. I stream pretty much every night at this time. This is the PC version. Had some tips from another viewer earlier. Probably going to be doing some modding on it. In particular to get the... oh, I missed the limit break option there. Dang it. To improve the music quality, because apparently there's some problems there. Also, hopefully get the button overlay working so that it shows my PlayStation controller buttons instead. I'll probably be on for another hour or so. I typically stream until about 1:30, 2 a.m. Mountain Time. So I've got another hour and a half here. And plus it's my birthday, so we're celebrating early. It just barely hit it, so 30 years, and I'm still playing video games because that's what I'd rather do than, you know, boring old day job. Double bomb, just because I don't want to be here all day. Let's bring out Shiva, and you can just draw some fire Clistus. Da-da-da-da. It's interesting that my viewer count hasn't gone up with you in chat. It's a little odd, but I chalk that up to the dashboard being glitchy. Oh, I have to remember what the... Oh, come on. Boost functionality is glitchy in this version. Well, hey, I don't judge. As far as I'm concerned, when it comes to video games, if you enjoy playing video games, if you enjoy watching video games, it doesn't matter what age you are. Several of the rating teams and stuff that I have been on in the past, I was rating with people that were twice my age, so it doesn't bother me at all. In fact, I actually quite like it when I find out about older folks playing video games and stuff. Don't let societal conventions define who you are. Just do what you think is fun. Poor little bat. It's tired. It's time for a nap. Yeah. I wish I could say that I was done with that much of my life. We're still pretty early on. I need... What do I need? Come on. There we go. I would just like to get out of this cave sometime today so we can continue doing other things. I love that the guys that, you know, were here guarding the cave before I came in are now gone. They asked me to set the time limit. The only way to know that I had actually did it would be for them to still be here, but, you know, that doesn't seem to be important to them. Wow, that instantaneous load. Anybody that's ever played this on the original PlayStation knows that that was never a thing. Alrighty. I do hate the way the camera controls on the overworld. Something you gotta get used to with these old school games. Chance for a first strike. Awesome. Let's see. Yeah, nothing I don't already have. Oh, I'm surprised that didn't kill him. Oh, don't worry about it. As far as I'm concerned, anybody that has, perfect diction all the time in a chat room is either, a little bit overly worried about the way they type or, is a perfectionist. And when it comes down to it, when you're in a Twitch chat, if I see perfectly spelled words, like half of the day, then I'm a little concerned about what's going on. Just people in chat typically have, very, very wild language and it's all over the place. Alright, we got, Ifrit got his abilities, so let's make sure and get that switched over. You, sir, will be learning probably HP Junction. Did I make sure and rejunction my magic? Okay, good. Cool. Looks like we probably got one other person in the stream watching. Haven't seen you pop up, but thanks for coming in and watching with us. I'm in the process of playing Final Fantasy VIII again. I've tried multiple times over the years since I first got a PlayStation to finish this game. Like, I love Final Fantasy VII, played that to death. Love Final Fantasy IX, played that to death. For whatever reason, I've never actually finished Final Fantasy VIII. So, I'm going to be trying to finish it. My friend Shrimpiclese, who's in the chat, gave me the challenge to try and finish the game before March 8th. Finish 8 before the 8th. On the 8th, we'll be starting to play The Division together, and suddenly this will go out the window. But we're going to see if we can make it happen before the 8th comes around. Okay, that's how we do the camera, okay. To be fair, like I've gotten fairly deep into the story in the past. I think I was starting the third disc on the farthest playthrough I've ever had, so most of the early story is not going to be stuff I haven't seen before. It's late into disc 3, things like that, before I'll start having things that I've never seen before. It's one of the challenges my wife has. Like, for my wife, this was the very first Final Fantasy game she had ever played. It's her favorite in the series as a result of that, and so it's a point of consternation between the two of us that I've never finished it. So this will maybe get that off of my crap list with her, earn my nerd points back, as it were, with her. New abilities, I'm gaining ability points. Yep. Some a cup of tea, soys. That's not an inaccurate description of how the game kind of comes across. The gameplay, though, is more... and one of the reasons I like it more than a standard shooter is I do enjoy the tactical elements that it's bringing into the game. Having to deal with cover and whatnot adds a layer of complexity into the game. One of the other parts about it is, like, it very, very much plays to the RPG side of things, which appeals to me on a number of levels. Like, I like to play a shooter occasionally, but they're a little bit mindless for me. So having those more RPG elements, the elements to the game that make you think and engage more is one of the reasons why I'm really, really looking forward to it. But it is definitely the type of game that appeals to a particular mindset. Not everybody's going to love it. I was actually kind of surprised how much I've enjoyed it during the beta that we played over the last weekend, so... Oh, no, yeah, the old school NES Final Fantasy games. I have played to completion. I played Final Fantasy I, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, 7, 9, 10, and then I think those are all that I've completed. I've attempted 13 multiple times, but the games start as so very, very slow. 12, it came out at an odd point in my life. I was, it had come out like right before I was leaving to go on trying to think of an easy way to say this, a religious thing. When lived in the Philippines for 2 years, didn't really have much to do with any kind of media at all, and so I just never finished 12. But pretty much all of the old school Final Fantasies, Super Nintendo and Nintendo, I have played and beaten at least once. My personal favorite in the series of Final Fantasy games is actually Final Fantasy VI. I've played that to completion across ports of it and the original game probably 7 or 8 times, bare minimum, probably more than that. Yeah, 10-2, I think I finished the game one time on 10-2, but didn't get the good ending. And, you know, it wasn't, I don't know, it wasn't my cup of tea, to use the phrase. 13, I love the concept that they tried to do. One of the interesting things about that game to me is like it feels very, very Final Fantasy, or feels very, very MMO influenced. Like it's got the idea of like you got the tank, you got the DPS, and then you're switching around and comboing to get it. But the way the game plays out is just not enjoyable. What the Oh yeah, the Magitek armors in Final Fantasy VI are so much fun. It's one of the reasons why I'm loving playing Final Fantasy XIV Online, which is the other game I've been playing a lot lately, because they have the Magitek armor in there. It's one of the mounts that you can get, and it's stylized to be like the Final Fantasy VI Magitek armors were, and it just every single bone of nostalgia I have just goes off as I'm playing that, especially because when you ride it, the music on the mount is a remix of the opening music from Final Fantasy VI, and it just brings back memories of when I was 12 years old playing Final Fantasy VI for the first time. Okay. And yeah, I can understand that. Me and Shrimpiclese in the chat, I played MMOs off and on through the years. One of my biggest reasons I love MMOs, and like, it's easy to have a hate for them. I understand like people have the problems where they lose just time and time to them all the time. For me, one of the reasons I've loved MMOs through the years is the fact that I tend to struggle to make friends in person unless I find that somebody has an inherent connection to the things I love, i.e. video games and the other things. And so one of the things that I've loved about MMOs is I'm already in a situation where I know that the people that I'm interacting with in there are people that love the things that I do. Especially when I was playing WoW back in the day, I had lots of I would make lots of friends with people in there. For instance, Shrimpiclese in the chat. We first met each other playing on a World of Warcraft raid team together, and then ended up finding out as we played more and more with each we played the game with each other more and more. We found out that he lived in that he and I lived relatively close to each other, and we ended up meeting up one time when I happened to be in town where he lived, and since then we've become, just the very closest of friends. We get together on a frequent basis and do other things outside of games now, and it's really nice to have that interaction and to learn, and it's why I keep playing MMOs even now, because it gives me a way to interact with friends that I don't get to see either in person very often, or the opportunity to randomly make new friends. Starting to play Final Fantasy XIV, we hopped into a guild that was one of Shrimp's friends was in the guild, and it gave me the opportunity to meet him. He's become a rather interesting guy. I like to talk with him and hang out with him. It's been a nice learning experience with that. The guild was a family. Sad that we broke up due to a member that used our closeness to get. Oh man. Yeah, it's stuff like that that sadly sours so many people on playing the MMOs, is because unfortunately, I don't have an explicit tag on here, but people are jackasses, and unfortunately it carries over to the digital world as well as the rest of what we do. I don't remember. Am I going to the right thing? I had to take the test, correct? Am I in the right place? I got so distracted when we were talking, I'm not sure if I'm in the right place again. Nope, can't take the test yet. What am I supposed to be doing? No, I'm supposed to be going to my room. Right? Oh, it's been so long since I did the first part, I don't remember. Looks like we got a few other viewers that have come into the stream. Thanks everybody for coming in. I'm glad to have you here. I am still relatively new to streaming, but I enjoy having you guys here, and I appreciate it if you want to talk. Yeah, I just finished the FF fight. I'm just struggling to remember what I'm supposed to do. I think I was supposed to go to my dormitory. I was so busy talking that I didn't pay attention to the last thing Quistis said. Sure, I'll have some cards. You don't know how to play the card game? Well, I do, but I do, but I don't. I've always been terrible at this card game. I'm not any good at it. It's probably because I don't pay enough attention to the math that's involved. Let's see here. Quick travel with this. Get changed. Might as well rest up. Refresh the old HPs. Let's see here. Yep, that's right. I remembered correctly. Supposed to get changed into your uniform and then you meet Quistis. Oh yeah, that's right. You go to, this is the part where we head over to the one first test place. Yeah, no worries. I figured it out and remembered where I was supposed to be going in the end. Let's see here. Ah, poor Zell. Squall will never shake your hand. Oh, see, this is the reason why I need to get the mod that shows the buttons. Because trying to remember these, like, it pulls up the display and it's like, do these buttons. And like, I don't remember which one's button 2. I don't remember which one's button 4. Just being a pain in the ass. Well, obviously. All you have to do is ignore him. Obviously. None of your business. Excuse me, but... The butt? Quistis touched the butt. Cypher you're talking about? He's your squad leader. Of course he is. You're the squad leader. Oh. A little whoa! Alright. I don't know if anybody else saw that. But the geometry there on this what's his face's character model is a little bit scary. It's coming apart at the seams, quite literally. See if it shows it again. I don't remember what his name is. The guy that follows Cypher around, but seriously, that was kind of weird. No, it's an old game, but sometimes things get weird. Quest's team is most important. Let's get through this exam, everyone. Okay. Teamwork means staying out of my way. That'll work, right? Sure. Oh, there it is, see? His upper torso has a bottom, literally, and it keeps separating from his legs. It's a little awkward. Dun 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 dun. What up, Headmaster Sid? His glasses kind of coming off your face funny there. Sam will involve 12 members from squads A through D. Proceeding to the real battlefield, obviously the battles are for real. Yeah, you know, real battlefield, battles are for real. Got it. Life and death, victory and defeat, honor and disgrace. Each of those go hand in hand. There's only one way or the other. How about it? Are you still up for it? Nope. I'm just gonna stay here instead. Seems like a better idea. I'm gonna take a nap. Maybe have a cup of coffee. I don't drink coffee, no. No caffeine. It's too late for caffeine. Should you fail, these members shall get the job done. They always do. Well, that's one less worry on your mind. Pride of Ballamgar and the elite mercenary force, Seed! Then obey their command and accomplish the mission. Dun 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 dun. So, Squall's Looking pretty nice compared to the Headmaster Sid here. Ugh. Sid has seen some better days, I am sure about that. Yeah, too strong a drink. I wouldn't know. I don't drink alcohol, but I'm sure that my coworker and friend would agree with you. He likes a good Jack. What is it? Scotch and soda. So, alrighty, let's go. Oh, hey, I forgot that they put us in the car for this part. Oh, and I remember the controls are really wacky on the PC version. Dakota's is actually Central Time. Like, think more the. I'm personally in Idaho, is where I live. So it's more like the Rockies area. I live in Idaho, southeastern Idaho. Not a little town. It's one of the bigger towns in the state. It's a little town called Idaho Falls, but. Just a peek. It's interesting to me that they put in so much extra work on, the actual player models, getting them looking nice and everything. And then some of them they just didn't bother with much. Like, Sid was obvious. Cypher is still... It's probably better than it was, but it's still not great. Maybe that's why the port that they've put out of Final Fantasy IX is so much more expensive on the various devices you can get it for. Okay, so let's see here. Order of the states, like if you know where Oregon and Washington are stacked right on top of each other, right? On the far western seaboard of the United States. Just the next state over from the two of them is where Idaho is. It's a long kind of panhandle-ish state. That they call it the panhandle state because it looks like a frying pan. Like the top part is the handle and the bottom part's the main like frying pan part. So it's the northern part of the United States, like the very tip of Idaho up in the panhandle part borders Canada. Where I live, it's actually relatively close to Yellowstone National Park. So if you know where Old Faithful is and the Yellowstone National Parks that are up there, that's relatively close to where I live. Chicken wuss. Whoa. Whoa. That's a crazy highlight you got going on there, Cypher. Woo! Flashes as you rock your head. There's like a literal hole in your head, I think. Infirmary this morning. Girl, I didn't notice anybody. Well, it's because you weren't there at first, Sully. Yeah, we're to the north and east of California. So between Idaho and California, you've got Nevada and Utah, part of Utah. Utah is directly south of Idaho from here. Okay, Seer. That's reverse. I remember the vehicle controls is a little bit wonky. second. Alright, looks good. Ain't no turning back now. Except, you know, I can totally leave the town and go out and grind monsters and do whatever I want. But, you know me. We'll just charge head in. Can I go over here, actually? I thought I could. Maybe I can't. Oh, yeah. Let's run up here and draw from this one draw point that's up at the top of the hill. So we could always use more magic going into this. Hey, sure. Give me that thunder. The states in school was the Cowboys in Civil War. Some of my states are a bit off other than the big three, California, Texas. And I think that's fairly typical even for, you know, most Americans. So, oh, you're from Idaho? Oh, Ohio. No, Idaho. Then there's a difference between the two. Most important thing to remember about Idaho, and the most common thing that people remember about Idaho, we have lots and lots of potatoes. And they're very, very tasty. Anybody says a potato from another state's fine, they're wrong. Idaho potatoes are the best. Says the son of a potato farmer from years and years ago. What up, Quistis? Oh, well then. Ah, so you're one of those. No, I just, it is, you know, the one claim to fame in the United States that Idaho really has is that we do grow good potatoes, so I can't say that we can beat out the original homeland of the potato, but it's odd how that's become such a staple of Idaho as our, like, product of choice and whatnot, and you don't hear about it much from the original origins over there in Ireland and Scotland. But again, whoever, it's always interesting to me to think about when it comes to food and things like that. It's like, here, I found this in the ground. It looks kind of odd. Let's cook it and see if it tastes any good. Yeah. I don't have any Irish heritage. My family, on the one side of my family, is Dutch. So I do have a little bit of the look of the Irish. It probably doesn't come across on my webcam, but once upon a time I had really, really red hair. My beard still has it a little bit, but it's not as strong as it used to be. Whatever reason, as I've gotten older, it started going more brown everywhere. Also, it's just started disappearing everywhere. Let's see, it's 1 o'clock now. I think what we'll do is we'll try and get the test section done with. And then I should probably call it for the night. Because even though I am not particularly tired, I do still have to get up and go to my day job in the morning. Even if it is my birthday. Questions, talk to Questus. Got it. I said Dutch, I meant Danish. I'm sorry, but yeah, I know what you mean. I'm not saying that I have Irish heritage. What I'm saying is I've got a little bit of the red hair look and all that stuff, and so I often get asked if I'm Irish. I should have clarified that, probably. But I'm definitely not. Where my family came from, Denmark originally on my mother's side. My father's side of the family, I think, is from England. So somewhere back in there's probably some Irish heritage. Just 'cause that's the only place I can think of where that red hair came from. Withdraw takes priority. Be sure to make your way back to the shore when you get this order. Almost definitely not Dutch. I don't know why I said that. That's not the right nationality at all. This mission is not all this talking's getting my mouth real dry. I'm gonna take a quick AFK. I'll be right back. I'm gonna go just get some water. It's glorified IT in the States. I used to work with people from other countries, by the way. Nice. Well, oops, wrong person. Me myself, I work for small local news television station, running the website, writing news and such for it, and also managing, just making sure it stays up and running properly. But it's a day job. I do it because I need to make money, not necessarily because it's all that fun. thought rum was from the Caribbean. And this might be my, lack of knowledge when it comes to alcohol. But isn't it bourbon? That's American. Kentucky bourbon. Roger. Roger. Oh. Yeah, okay. Sure. Move so I can go outside. Okay. Here comes those high fidelity full motion videos that we were all so fascinated with back in the 90s. OMG, it's so amazing. Oh, that's right, yeah. On the islands, that's where they found it. I really need to see if I can turn on that one setting on Twitch that makes it so that the delay is a little bit less so that I can have more direct chat with people, so it's not, several minutes between when you type and when I respond. I think that I can probably make that setting work on my computer, especially if I'm doing stuff like this. Final Fantasy VIII ain't pulling very hard on my computer, if you know what I mean. Doing this wrong. Too long since I really played this game. Work well with American. It's true. Internet. It is very, very true that the American internet infrastructure is kind of for shit, but someday it'll get sorted out, and by that time I'll be like 90, so we got a good 60 years to get it figured out. Shiva. Magic. Attack. Draw. Item. Oh gosh, yeah, I will not mention politics much on this stream, but I really worry for our country where we're in a situation that we could very likely end up with him as our president. It just worries me. It's one of the reasons why I'm really not enjoying my job currently, is because we have to deal with reporting with politics all the time, and the idea that Americans are stupid enough to elect him worries me considerably. Oh yeah, that's right, I'm not supposed to talk to people. Shit. Ruins must score! Yeah, it's a bit of a mess, for sure. Oops. As much as I don't like one particular option in the elections, I think I would rather have her than Donald Trump. But, like, you know, there's the argument Donald Trump knows how to run a business, but he's also a jackass. Yeah. Look out at Seed. Doomed. I guess I don't understand what you're saying. What did I miss? But when it comes to normal conversation and talking with Americans off hours, I sound like... Oh, no. Okay, yeah, no. No, you're fine. I just, like, CST, I had to work it out in my head what it meant. It's also the fact that it's now 1:30 my time, and I've been up since 9 a.m. No, 8 a.m. yesterday. I'm just starting to feel a little bit of the tired, so it takes me a second to process things a little bit longer. I was just confused by your crass remark there for a second. Oh, I messed up my music. Why am I hearing like the heartbeat? What the heck? Oh, that's weird. That was odd. Probably before I go to bed tonight too, I should look at doing some of the mods that are in the game so that I can hopefully make things look a little bit nicer come tomorrow. Yeah, I never know how that is. Like, sometimes my insomnia is particularly bad, and I will get as little as 1 hour of sleep. It drives me absolutely bonkers. It's become a real problem for me. You know, playing video games to all hours probably doesn't actually help, but I'd rather be doing this than lying on my bed not sleeping, staring at the ceiling, wishing I was sleeping. Aw, poor doggy. Cypher's such a jerk. MIDI controller to the PS1, so the ones and zeros get mixed up, which is why... Ah! Good to know. See, that's one of the reasons why I'm probably going to look at trying to do some of the mods to restore the sound. Supposedly that helps, but I haven't had a chance to mess around with it. This entire thing was entirely impromptu. I had planned to stream Final Fantasy XIV all night, but... Hey, but it looks like I made a good choice to switch to this. I've had a couple more people come in and actually watch than I have had. If he was, I totally missed it. Excuse me. But that's against orders. You're right, Zob. Chicken wuss. He do fight dirty like you. Oh no, he didn't. Yeah, I should never do that again. That was bad. Fat white guy shouldn't try and have sass. It's an exam, an important one. I'm telling you, we have to stick to orders. Don't need no Boy Scouts. Let's see here. Gotta remember that I can't lean back that far. The microphone I have just doesn't pick me up if I'm way, way, way back there. And the microphone on my headset is for crap, so. Yeah, for my wife, it's the only way that she can manage to get to sleep at all is when she's got her antidepressants going. That's for other reasons, like she actually has some depression issues and whatnot, so she needs it. For me, though, it's not that I'm depressed, it's not anything else. I just literally can't get to sleep for whatever reason. Can't seem to turn my brain off at night. It's not like I'm thinking bad things or anything, I just can't sleep. Worst was one day when I had tried to sleep for, I'd gone to bed at 1 o'clock, which is still late and all, but then I just sat there and laid all night long and never once fell asleep. Ended up having to get out of bed and go to work the next day having had zero sleep, and it was just miserable. That was the worst. I haven't had anything so bad in a while, but it's one of the reasons I've started streaming. The other reason, like I'm working in the news media, but to be honest, I'd rather be doing media relations, media work for a gaming company of some variety. It's the sort of thing that I enjoy doing. I prefer working in video games and stuff. Like, it's fun. Whereas dealing with the news can be depressing in and of itself, and so I'm starting to stream. Like, since I can't sleep, I may as well take advantage of the time, so I'm streaming, trying to build up a repertoire for myself, and eventually hopefully break into doing something different, doing media for a gaming company, or working in live streaming events, different things like that. So communication tower, oh no. What? Closer to max on these cures. I wonder if there's a way I can disable that achievements notification. Mostly just because I don't like that it's coming in and nosing in on the way my broadcast looks. Achievement unlocked. You spent a lot of time drawing magic. Congratulations. Psychotics. What is these? Yeah, it's interesting though, like the discrepancies that there can be between people that on how doctors diagnose things like that and whatnot, because we spent like half a year to a year trying to get my wife's antidepressant medication sorted out, because there's so many different varieties and you have to have just the right specific combination of the chemicals and whatnot that are in them in order to make it balance with your brain chemistry and whatnot. And it was a nightmare trying to get it figured out. And once we finally got it, she's been doing great ever since, but it took forever to figure it out, and it drove me crazy, and it was driving her crazy. Something that I wish that they had better science for, so that we could not have to deal with it so much in our lives. Draw here. Oh, I didn't mean it. I was trying to cast that. These are the signs that I should really go to sleep, because I'm not paying attention to what I'm doing here. Need to get done with this section first, though. Draw, cure, cast on Squall. Yellow attack, yellow attack. Squeeze. Hiss. Hiss, you're never around when I need you. Oh, I forgot I had Zell on casting, but hey, sure, top yourself off there, Zell. Good for you. Huh. That is interesting. Seems strange that they can make that justification. Like, I'm not entirely sure how it works here, but I know that there are laws that prevent that sort of thing. Like, you can't be discriminated against for not doing medicine or something like that. So. Man. Maybe I should have summoned my GF. I didn't realize this was like a pseudo boss fight. Thinking I'm gonna be done here, and it just keeps going and going and going and going and going. Missed my gun blade. That sucks. You don't even know. I dare say some people are better at their jobs if they're just a little bit crazy. I don't know, I have to be a little bit crazy to survive getting through my job sometimes. It drives me crazy. Looks like Shrimp did go to bed. Didn't say goodnight. Jackass. Or he might be in the stream still, he's just not in chat. Let's see. What time is it? Yep. Next chance I get to save and quit, I think I better just be done. Mind your own business. Yeah, you get him, Zell. Literally no one is afraid of you. Don't worry about it, man. I'm enjoying having somebody here to talk to while I play. It's one of the reasons I want to do this. Like, you know, if I'm going to be up and playing, I would rather be up and playing and talking to somebody than sitting here alone in my own world feeling sorry for myself that I can't sleep. Fan service. I couldn't tell you why it's mom instead of mum. But considering that the base root is mother, the U, I guess, because the M-U as opposed to mav. I don't know. English is a weird language when it comes down to it generally. He's down there. He's over there. Romantic dream, eh? Sure. For some reason I think that I'm not supposed to jump off the cliff because you get in trouble or something with the test results, but whatever. We're not playing this game to play it perfect, we're doing it for funsies. If I remember right, all the GFs that were equipped, all the them from stuff that was equipped as... Nope, it's not. Well, rude. I think she gets the magic that he had, though. Draw GF. He's very, very strange. I shouldn't do impressions and jokes on voices. I've got a weird enough voice as it is. I work for Shinra. I mean, the Galbadian army. Do do do. Do do do. Sure is big. Way too much ice and not enough water. Oh well. Hey, be nice. Hey, look at that. There's that save point that I needed. Let's go ahead and draw this. To Squall, obviously. Because he needs all the things. Actually, I should have had Selfie drawn so I could have set it to her attack junction. Yeah. Ooh. The interesting thing about American accent is that it really, really varies depending on where you live. Like I've been told that people from Idaho have an accent, but being from Idaho, I can't hear it. But it's like, I mean, whatever accent it might be, it's still nothing compared to people like from Boston and the like. They've really got a specific sound to the way they talk. Alrighty. Oops. There we go. Well, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it a call it there. Appreciate you coming in and chatting with me. I think let's see if we can figure out how to pronounce that username. Is Kalkitsune? Kalkitsune? It's Japanese. I can't speak in Japanese. I love Japanese things. I can't speak the language or the name. But I appreciate you coming and hanging out in my stream. To anybody else that's still in here, who's anybody else still in there? Suppose I have 3 viewers. I only have 2 in chat. But anybody else that came along, hung out, thanks for coming, watching. I will be back for more birthday streaming tomorrow night, probably 9 o'clock Mountain Time. But I appreciate you coming and chatting with me. Have a good night.